Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. You are watching the Uprooted Network. It is your girl, Hannah, aka Ruta. And today I want to talk about guarding your mind. I'm noticing so much animosity, anxiety, just a lot of infighting at that. And my question is, who benefits off of that? Who really is benefiting off of that? And it's been something that has been frustrating me for the last couple days. And I've been trying to alchemize that into, how do we make this a positive thing for us, right? Like, how do I turn around and manifest the opposite of that for us? Because it is such a trying time. And I always am looking for ways to have joy, to create joy, right? That's why I have a whole course for that. And I just want us to all take a collective breath right now, because I literally only spent like 10 minutes on Twitter and I just was doing this. I was like, man, this is a lot. Like, what is everyone even talking about right now? Really and truly. Hey sis, I miss you too. It has been very interesting. So if you're like me and you tend to stay off of Twitter, and stay out of these political arguments that people like to make, etc., etc., stay focused on the humanitarian issues, really the plight of the people back in Ethiopia, specifically Tigray, that are suffering, right? It's very confusing to me when people start to change their narratives or they start to shift the focus off of that. Because what are you really saying if you're not talking about the plight of people? We still don't have electricity in Tigray. We still don't have humanitarian aid coming in without conditions, right? We're not in a position. People are still starving. And those are the only points that I want to focus on, that I ever focus on. Y'all can check my track record. Y'all can look at everything that I do on here. I'm not here to push anyone's agenda. And I think when I see that being pushed from quote unquote influencers or leaders, I really start to question motives. I really do. Because at a time when your family is still starving, at a time when your family doesn't have access to any type of aid, where we know, myself personally, have been losing family members because there's a lack of medication, that there is no health care for them, right? I can understand, and I think I have done a pretty good job here of creating a space for people to have their feelings, right? To validate that what we're going through is extremely, extremely difficult. And I can understand that a lot of times the everyday average person is going to react out of emotion. I'm not here to police any of that. You have the right to feel however you feel. What I am getting a little bit confused about and frustrated with is the folks that constantly shift that messaging. Why are you guys constantly going back and forth on who we should support, why you shouldn't like this person? There's no political campaigns going on right now. None. There's no person to be voting for right now. This is not a political season. Why are y'all so pressed about trying to talk about who we should support, who we shouldn't support, this whole negotiation, like talking about geopolitics of where TDF is and what they're doing, and you breaking news. Where are you breaking news from? From Twitter? Are you on the ground with them? You are playing with the emotions of those of us who are literally only worried about our family's safety. That to us, we just want to see our families safe and whole and together. And I just am weary of people who constantly are changing their political stance, who are pushing a narrative. Like, we're not here for that. I don't know about y'all, but I don't have a degree in politics. I don't spend any time there. I don't sit here and pretend to know the history. I'm not going to argue with people back and forth. You can see my stance from the very beginning of this, prior to this, till now. I don't speak on things that I don't know enough about. And there's a lot of people who do. And the problem with that is that they try to influence the masses to follow that as well. And so today I really want to just start manifesting people protecting their own mind, because this concept of groupthink, or this concept of, dividing us into both sidism. What both sides? Tigray is not free. Okay, hence why I had to bring out the OG sweater. Tigray is not free. Our people have not been freed. Our people have not ever stopped experiencing this war or suffering at all. Okay, like at all. So there's no both sidism for us, actual Tigrayans. There is none. Our people are suffering and they need to not be. And all of this other political jargon that people like to throw out is extremely misleading. And it's really annoying that you have people who understand that we're in this very traumatic state, and that those of us who don't understand completely the picture are looking for those mentors and those role models to help us understand and to give us language. But I want y'all to remember that not everybody has your best interest at heart. Okay? It's just the truth of the nature. We live in a culture of propaganda wars. We live in a culture of which side can be louder, right? We live in a culture of canceling people left and right. We live in a culture of Photoshop. Okay? We live in a culture of clout chasers. Okay? I'm not calling anyone out by name, but believe that I can. Okay? What I am trying to get us to understand is trust your own gut. Trust your own mind. Form your own opinions. Because there are so many people out there who don't want you to do that. They know that people are not going to read the whole article. They know that it's going to be a clickbait culture. And I'm not here to tell you support these people, don't support these people. I personally don't care. What I do care about is the fact that our people are still suffering. And instead of us focusing on that mission and advocating from that place, there are people who want to change the conversation to have us fighting each other. We're not in a space where we have the luxury to fight each other. And I know that this is not what people normally come on here on Manifest Mondays to listen to or talk about, but I promise you I have a point. So as a person who studied psychology and organizational leadership, I intimately understand what is happening behind the scenes. And that's also why I spend so much time on this platform trying to help people get mentally strong. I'm never going to try to influence what your opinion should be. I'm just going to be honest about mine so that you can make your own informed decision, right? And you have to be wary, right, about people who are trying to influence you to think a certain way. My only job here at Uprooted is to help y'all get more mentally strong, to understand the way that trauma is impacting you, right? Oof. I got up and this is the first thing I'm doing, so my voice is not all the way here. But I want you to consider that we are a traumatized people. We are a very vulnerable people. We are clinging onto one another right now. And sometimes that familiarity, gets us real comfortable with one another. And you start to think you really know people. And it's like, actually, you just met them 2 minutes ago. Okay? You don't know what all of their thoughts are, all of their beliefs are. Putting faith in these people and just following blindly, like, it's not going to be good for you. And these people who manipulate that also understand psychology. They also understand that we are a hurt and vulnerable people. And so sometimes what will happen is that you'll see people supporting and sounding like they're saying all the right things that you agree with in theory, but it's really, really easy on the surface level to make it seem like you care, right? And then you slowly start to see those inconsistencies of, wait a minute, actually, I don't believe in that. Actually, I don't believe in this. But what will happen to us psychologically sometimes is that we want to believe the first impression we have of that person, and we'll try to defend our way through it. It's like, oh, they don't really mean that, or they don't, whatever. And then it's too late. And this is not just about political things. This is like just every day in your friendships, in your work relationships, the people that you follow. Don't put any of us, myself included, on a pedestal. Let our actions, okay, not just our words, be the key to your, what's the word I'm looking for? Just how you judge us. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I tweeted this the other day. I don't really tweet often, but I was just getting very frustrated. I was like, what is going on here? When we are supposed to be focusing on advocating for people, being the voice for people who are asking for basic humanitarian treatment, we're sitting here arguing about what? What are we arguing about? This is not our job. If we want to go vote, if we want to control what TDF is doing, if we want Ethiopia to have peace talks, etc., then you should be living there with your actual right to vote, be in the midst of it. But as a diaspora, from the outside looking in, with the privileges that we have to be safely on our phones, for me, I'm going to look at anybody who's speaking outside of that and question what the motives are. I'm really going to question what the motives are. Are you a political correspondent? I'm confused. Very confused. Like, do you have some type of history knowledge that we don't know? Like, what are your credentials? Like, we literally need to start questioning the things that we just easily believe and that we follow. Because I just want us to remember that not everybody has our best intention at heart. And so this is a little bit different for Manifest Mondays, but I kind of spoke a little bit about this last week in terms of judgment, right? And how easily we judge each other and we exclude people and we make this community very difficult for some of us to be involved in. And just seeing this on Twitter today, I was like, oh, this is why. This is why. We're literally spending so much time arguing with each other over all of the things that are irrelevant. Because none of those are getting our people more food or water. None of it is. And so it made me start to question, what are really the motives of certain people? You can tell the difference between somebody who is just actively hurt and reacting out of emotion because of their family's predicament versus someone who sounds a little bit more calculated in the messaging that they're trying to push. And I want us to start really protecting our mind and not falling victim to this concept of groupthink. It's not serving us. It's not getting us anywhere. And I guess for me, what I want to really manifest for the diaspora and for all of us, one, I've said this from the beginning, free Tigray until it's backwards, because literally we're going on 2 years Okay, we are going on 2 years of people suffering needlessly. So that's the first thing that I'm always manifesting. And second, I really want to manifest the mental strength for people to stop being manipulated by the folks out here that are benefiting off of our downfall. Anyone who's trying to make a name for themselves, build a platform, get money off of this, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing? I want us to guard our minds and protect your heart, because I know how hard it is to root for someone, to really think that they're on your side, and then to turn around and realize that they're not. And like, a lot of times we just won't accept that. So I'm really manifesting for everyone to have the mental strength and fortitude to start questioning and challenging your own thoughts and beliefs, and start unpacking them from yourself, and not just regurgitating whatever it is that you hear from other people. Like, it's not easy, but I think it's completely necessary, because at this point, we're way too far gone to still be having these type of arguments, to still be trying to police people's emotions and feelings and trying to sway them one way or another politically. That's not our job. That's literally not our job. And anyone that's trying to do that, you got to start questioning, what is your intention? Like, really and truly, what are you trying to accomplish here? Are you trying to divide us further? Or are you trying to unite us together on this common goal of finally getting our people the resources that they need? So that's really where I'm at today. I hope it came off more positive than I feel. It's just, I am feeling that anxiety for all of us. I am feeling the tension, and I knew that this was coming. Anytime combat starts, everyone's going to start to feel that kind of, that anger and that anxiety, whatever is like bubbling up. We are re-triggered, and there's a tendency for us to take out that anger on the closest to us, and our enemies understand that as well. And you best believe that they're using that for a reason. You best believe that they understand that, and that they will continue to poke and prod and push us in those directions to fight one another. Because while we're sitting here fighting one another, arguing and telling people how they're supposed to feel, guess what's not getting done? Advocacy. Okay? That's what's not getting done. Like, the energy that we're spending trying to correct one another, or trying to argue a point, or this or that. Can we get free first? Can we get free? Can our people have basic rights? Can they have healthcare? Can they have electricity? Can they have all of these things? And then we can have all the arguments people want to have. Okay? We can agree to disagree right now, respectfully. And once our people are actually free and capable of using their own voice, guess what? You can stop speaking for them. But until that point, the only thing that they need from us is to advocate on their plight. That's it. That's all I have to say. And I'm really manifesting for y'all, for all of us, that we start to get that into our heads. Because unless y'all like went and got this magical political degree, I don't know where everybody is getting their information from. It is confusing, okay? What I do know, though, is that our mental health is taking a toll. Because those of us who don't take those stances, who don't push any of that, we're just looking for, are our people safe? We're just trying to get a general consensus on what is happening on the ground. Minus everybody's bias and opinion on how we got here, why we're here. This is a stupid move. Bro, I don't need all of that. I need to know, is my grandma safe? Does she have access to water? Are my cousins okay? That's it. Outside of that, y'all doing a lot. You are doing a lot. And what I keep trying to tell everybody, go take some deep breaths. Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Y'all want to know why I'm so healthy and I have my glow and all this stuff? Because I don't engage in those things. I do my advocating. I prop up my people. I check on those who need to be checked on. And I get off the internet. Because arguing back and forth with people who may or may not have my best interests is really not going to help my mental health. So that's all I have to say to y'all today on this Monday. Please correct me in the comments if you feel like I'm speaking out of turn, but that's how I feel. And I just got to be honest about that. And yes, thank you. Call your representatives. What does that say, Mike? Call your representatives and touch grass. What do you mean touch grass? I don't know what that means. But yes, call your representatives. We do still need these bills to pass. Even though the world keeps showing us that they don't care about Black people, we need to put something on the books and have things on the laws that we can force politicians to move forward. But again, y'all already know this. Spend more time doing that. Push that. Get more people to sign the HR 6600. Jesus, all these numbers. Stand with Tigray fundraiser, trying to get education to those who have not had education for 2 years. HPN, trying to get supplies to medical doctors, helping refugees in Sudan. These are things that we can actually do. These are actionable items. They will have immediate impacts and effects, right? But everything else we're doing is useless. And I guarantee you, when you talk to your people back home, they're not going to care what you're tweeting about. They don't care. They're going to care how that helped them. So be result focused. Be solution oriented. Because complaining about problems all day is not going to actually solve any of them. So thank y'all. Happy Monday. Try and be nice to each other. Be kind to yourself. Take deep breaths. Don't forget to eat. Okay, and if you can bathe and relax at some point, please do. Our nervous systems are not set up to be angry all day and to be dealing with beef all day. We're not. We're already triggered and we're already traumatized. So do what you can to reduce that in your life. All right, peace out, y'all.